This episode is jam-packed with Dollar Tree indoor-outdoor hacks and DIYs. Welcome to CJDIY. I am C. I found those new arched mirrors and they're perfect for a makeover. I'm painting the frames with a navy Decouper paint and I let them dry. For the mirror part, I will use the other side where it's white and I will paint the white part also with another layer of white paint. Now that my frames are dry, I will distress them with these gold paints from Dollar Tree with my distressing brush. I went over and gave them antique vintage look with this gold shade on the frames. After the distressing is done, I'm adding the mirror part inside, and as I mentioned previously, I give it a one good coat of a white paint and adding all the parts together into those frames. And now it is time for some embellishments. I found those tea sets at the kids section and I will be using the teapots. I spray painted them with a white paint. I divided one pot in half and now I will decoupage them. For the decoupage part, I will be using a Mod Podge and one of those blue and white napkins that I picked up from Home Goods for like $5 and some change. I cut off a portion of a napkin and now simply with my sponge brush, I went over with a Mod Podge and adding the napkin, and I will smooth out the napkin with my fingers until all nooks and crannies and crevices are covered with this napkin. I will cut off the excess, and also to smooth out the top of the teapot, I will add another layer of Mod Podge and seal the napkin that I added on top of the teapot. I repeated the same step on my second half of my teapot and I let them dry, and now that I got them both covered, I will glue them on my arched frames. And now I have a brand new look for those arched mirrors with those cute mini 3D teapots that I added on my frames. I will fill out my teapots with mini branches of leaves and lemons and some blue flowers, and our home decor for those frames is ready. Those cute mini tote bags are a great find at Dollar Tree. They're like a porcelain material. They come in 3 colors. I grab all of them and I will give them a nice makeover. I will be using the white one and the blue one, and with just a simple touch you will have a brand new look with those mini cute pieces. On white one, I will be using those blue flower ribbon transfers that I purchased from Amazon. I will add the links in my description box if you like to make the same makeover that I will be doing. I cut off a portion of those flowers and I will add this transfer on my purse. And with adding just a little detail to those mini cute porcelain purses, you will have a perfect new look. You can add it on your cabinets, on your shelves, or you can use those purses as a organization hack with adding some makeup brushes, lipsticks, and put them beside your desk. They will look amazing. You can even add some pencils in your office or pens. I mean, the sky's the limit with those pieces. I seal my transfer with a top coat and I will let it dry. And also for the inside part of my purse, I'm making a tag with this round block. I just added another transfer of a flower. I added a toothpick and I fill out my mini purse with some flowers and some leaves. And I add this tag inside of my purse. For my blue bag, I will be adding a different kind of transfers with lemons. I also purchased those at Amazon, and I think those lemons with the tea picture, as you can see, are perfect. And then on the other side, I will also add some lemons so it can be reversible. I really like those transfers. Those are kind of like a shiny glossy, and since my purse is glossy, it fit just perfect with my bag. To add the ribbon transfer is such an easy process. You just add the transfer, and to release the header sheet with the help of a scraping tool, you just releasing the transfer until it's fully added to your surface. And then to seal them, you can always add a Mod Podge or top coat or wax, and you will have an amazing unique look for your home decor done without breaking a bank. Now that my other purse is done, I'll fill it out with some lemons and leaves and some flowers, and our makeover is done. And now we're back at Dollar Tree. I love Dollar Tree cylinder vases. I choose white one this time, this glossy finish one, and it is going to be a simple makeover, but it will look beautiful. I will be adding a top coat that I purchased from Amazon. It's called Country Chic, and I am just adding one layer in the front part of the vase, and on that part I will be adding an inlay sheet. So to get the transfer, I just added this top coat, a nice amount of it. I cut off the portion from the Portofino Paint Inlay IOD collection. Before I add the transfer, I spritz it with the water, and now I am adding it on top of the vase where I added the top coat. I smooth it out with my brayer and my hands. Also, to smooth it even more out and get rid of all those wrinkles and bubbles, I will use a wet towel and I will dab it over and I will let it dry. And now that it's all dry, I am removing the header sheet and I have a satisfactory look. So cute and beautiful with this Portofino vibe. I really love how it came out. I really love those black candle holders from Dollar Tree. I grabbed 2 of them. I have also found those cute sphere candles. They smell delicious. So if you find them, grab them. I spray painted my candle holders with a white paint. 2 good coats. I let them dry and now I will give them a nice makeover with those beautiful blue transfers. Just on the front part, I will cover it with all those beautiful flowers, leaves, roses, words. I really love how they came out. I love this Royal English look. It's very popular this year, especially this white and blue or blue and yellow. Check out at the high-end stores. You will see similar decorations like this that they're super expensive. However, you can make this very low on a budget like I am doing it today with Dollar Tree items, and this fashion will never fade out and you will have an amazing timeless home decor. Now that I covered the part that I wanted with all those transfers, I will seal it with a top coat. I will repeat the same step on my second candle holder, and here we go, how beautiful they look. And another amazing find are those arched frames from Dollar Tree. What I will do for this one, I just cut off a white cardboard that I will add on the inside part of my frame, and also on that white cardboard I will add more transfers with those blue flowers to make it cohesive with my candle holders and my mini purse. And I have a new look for this arch frame. Super easy to do. You just release the transfer with the scraping tool. I also seal it with a Mod Podge. I add it inside of my frame and voila, not even 2 minutes, I have a perfect new look. Those wood rounds are perfect fine also at Dollar Tree. For this one, I give it a 2 good coats of a white chalk paint, and I will decoupage it with my blue and white napkin to trace it over. Since this sign have like a beads on the edges, I just went over with my nails and I just trace it over, and I will cut off that portion and I will decoupage it with a Mod Podge. Super simple and easy makeover and a perfect riser for a home decor. Now that I added the napkin, I will smooth it out with my decoupage brayer. I will also seal it with a Mod Podge. I will let it dry. Also, for the side of this riser, I will add some paint. I added a navy and some blue paint just to make it cohesive with my napkin. I will let it dry. Also, I painted some wooden doorknobs and I will use those as legs for my riser. I will glue them with a Titebond glue for a sturdy hold, and for immediate hold I will add some hot glue, and you have an amazing riser that it cost us only $1.25. Another new find are those new frames 4x6 from Dollar Tree. I grabbed 2 of them. Look how beautiful they look. You don't need to do anything. You can paint them if you like, but for those I decided to leave them as they are. They're perfect for my decor. Also, I picked up 2 new frames from my local store for like a $4.99. Those are 5x7. I clean up their glass with the alcohol, and now I will add some prints that I downloaded and purchased from Etsy. Etsy have an amazing, beautiful variety of instant downloads that you can purchase and support small businesses, and I will always love to do that. So I purchased those prints, images. I print them out. So for my 5-7 frames, I downloaded those stripe with those picture and flowers designs, and for my 4x6 Dollar Tree frames, I downloaded those blue and white prints. I couldn't decide which one is the cuter. They're all perfect for my decor, especially today. I am just showing you how beautiful they are. They're only for like a couple of dollars, and you can print them out in any kind of sizes that your frames are, and I will add those, and I have a beautiful new look for those frames that they're done for less than 2 minutes. And here I'm showing you more downloads that I purchased from Etsy, and I print them out. Those are from my upcoming episodes. Some patriotic, some French country, some fashion images, and voila, amazing new looks without breaking a bank. Now let's create something for our outdoor decor patio or porch. I got those 2 wreaths in my stash, so I will give them a nice makeover with adding some mini lemons and some blue flowers and yellow picks that I got from Dollar Tree, and I will fill those out, not too much because I already like my wreaths how they look. I just want to give them a little bit of color of yellow and a blue. And when I complete them all, now I will create bows. I got this ribbon from Amazon. It have French d'Olive with lemons and some blue flowers in it. Without measuring, I cut off 4 equal pieces, and now I'm creating loops. I am adding a glue on the end of the ribbon and creating 4 loops. So this is just a friendly tutorial for you how to make a simple bow. You don't need to be a bow expert. You can create amazing bows just like this, just making some loops, tying them in the middle in the shape of a bow, and you have a 4 loop bow just like so. Now for the tail, I'm cutting another long portion and I will tie it on the back with a twine, and to cover the twine I will cut another little piece of this ribbon and I will cover the middle part of it with, and I will add a glue, and also I'm cutting off the edges as a ducktail, and voila, you have an amazing beautiful bow. And I added those bows in the middle part of my wreaths, and voila, look how beautiful and high-end they look. I always like to make pillows out of Dollar Tree placemats, and those are just perfect, cohesive with my decor, lemons and blue. I grabbed a couple of them and I will be making 2 of them. So what I did is, on one side of the placemat, I just grabbed this tool. This is from nail section at Dollar Tree. This is a tool for nails, so it was so easy to work with this tool. I just remove the stitching on this part. I open that part on both of my placemats. I fill them up with a filler. I want my pillows to be nice and stuffed. And now I will glue this part back with adding a glue. You gotta be extra careful, and with my spatula I went over and made sure this whole part is nice and glued, and voila, for $1.25 you have an amazing pillow that you can add on your porch. I will repeat the same step on my lemon placemat, and also I had just a little bit of a hot glue on top of the fabric. To get rid of the glue on the fabrics, you can use a lighter, but you have to be super careful to remove the excess. Just go quickly so you don't burn yourself, you don't make a fire with those fabrics, and you have an amazing look for those pillows. Another amazing finds at Dollar Tree are those summer trays, perfect for outdoor where you can drink your lemonades or coffees. So what I did, I just grabbed one of those $1.25 trays. I spray painted them with a white paint. I cover it with a navy paint and a mixture of more blue paints until I got the look that I like. I added 2 more shades of a blue. Those are from Folk Art. And finally, when I got the color that I like with mixing all those 3 colors, I let it dry, and this is the color that I have. And now in the middle part, I'm adding more transfers, those lemon transfers. And voila, I have a summer tray for my outdoor backyard or porch, wherever I decide to sit down and serve. After my transfer is released from the header sheet, I will seal it with a clear wax. And for extra embellishment and more high-end, I decided to add some twine on the handles of this tray. And this tray doesn't look plasticky anymore. It looks so high-end, and nobody will know that we made it with $1.25 plastic tray. I always like to work with those wooden blocks from Dollar Tree. I grabbed 3 of them. I am smoothing them out with my sanding machine on the edges, and I will create a book stack. I am painting them with a navy, white, and a yellow paint, and I will let them dry. Now that they're dry, on the navy part, on the side of the book, I will be adding line of lemons with this paint inlay from the Portofino IOD inlay book. I added 1 layer of a navy paint, and I spritz my inlay with the water, and now I'm adding it on the side and dabbing it with a wet towel. I will let it dry, and now that it is dry, I'm spritzing it with the water again to remove the inlay, and I have an amazing lemons on the side of my book. I will add the books together with adding a glue. I added the yellow on top of the navy. On the yellow part, later on, I will add some transfer. And on my white part, I will add some blue and white napkin with decoupage in it with a Mod Podge, so we can have variety, different kind of mix with this book stack. I will just cover the top and the sides with the napkins. The inside part doesn't need to be covered with a napkin because that part is not will be visible. I will glue it on the bottom part of one of my book stack, and I will seal it also with a Mod Podge on top of it. And I also cut off the excess from this napkin. Super easy to do. I love the decoupage method. You can use tissue, you can use napkins, you can even use some fabrics, and you will have a unique look for your book stack, for your art pieces, anything you create, and it will look amazing. For embellishment, I'm adding this yellow ribbon from Dollar Tree. I just added a line all over the book stack. Also, I created another look on the yellow side, so this book stack can be reversible. I added one of those lemon arch window transfers on the yellow part, so you can flip the book stack. You can add it on the yellow part or on the blue side part. So after I added the yellow arched frame on the bottom part of the yellow book, I also added 4 loop bow with tails and 2 loop bow with tails on the blue side. So now I'm showing you how on the blue you can decorate with adding those mini purses on top. And also for extra embellishment on the yellow part, I decided to add some pressed leaves and flowers just to make it more whimsical. And speaking of blue, white, and lemons, I want to show you what my girls got for me. This ginger jar, those beautiful trays. Some of them are made in Italy. And they even got me a lemon apron and an amazing picture with navy stripes with lemons. I really love this beautiful combination. Let me know, do you like this design this year? This year, as I mentioned, is super trendy. And look, it matched with my decorations today. Also, this cute mini trinket box, it's from Dollar Tree. Can you believe it? Look how beautiful and cohesive it is. You can turn it into a candle. You can just add a candle inside of it, or just as is. You can add some lemons and create a beautiful vignette with amazing looks. And another Dollar Tree DIY. I love these wood rounds. They even brought these square ones this time. Those are new. And I can show you how to make a DIY for less than 2 minutes. You can grab one of those peel and stick, those leaf ones with green. Also, this green with gold and lemons are super popular these days. So what I did is I just add a halfway one of those peel and stick. I didn't even measure, just from my eye. I added on a halfway of this wood round. I will smooth it out, make sure there is no wrinkles on it. I will cut off the axis with the scissors. After I cut off the axis, I will sand off the edges with a nail file to make sure it's nice and smooth. And now I will add some embellishment. I also found this cute flower with leaves sign from Dollar Tree. On one side of my sign, I will add those flowers, and on the other side, I will add some lemons. It looks so beautiful and cohesive with the mixture of those flowers and leaves and the lemons all together. So on one side, I'm just adding those transfers, releasing the header sheet, and with the scraper, I am adding those transfers. I added a couple of more lemons to fill out the space, added some flowers with green transfers as well. I am gluing this sign on one side, and to fill out the space on top of the sign and the wood sign, I'm filling out more with lemons and some flowers. And also for extra embellishment, I just made a simple 4-loop small bow on the side, and I have a ready door hanger or wall decor done in no time without breaking a bank. arch mirror at Dollar Tree, and now I'm gonna make it over. I'm covering the frame with rose gold metallic finish from Folk Art. So I'm going over until the whole frame is covered with it, and then I'm gonna let it dry. To tone down the golden color, I'm gonna be adding DIY paint in colored weathered wood. So with the brush, I'm going over all those nooks and crannies that this frame came with and covering it all. After I cover the whole frame with this paint, I'm gonna use a towel to remove the excess. And finally, I got the look that I like for this frame. Next, I just flip over the mirror on the other side, and it's perfect. It's in a white color. I don't need to do anything. And now this part, I'm gonna decoupage it with the Royal Check napkin, and I wanna add that Mackenzie-Childs signature on the bottom. So I'm gonna use the bottom part of this napkin, and after I remove the 2 layers on the inside part of this napkin, I'm simply decoupaging it with a matte finish Mod Podge and with my smooth sponge brush. So I just added enough amount of the Mod Podge, and slowly I'm gonna do the first half on this mirror, and then I'm gonna do the second half as well. After I position the Mackenzie-Childs logo on the bottom, I'm going over with my decoupage brayer, make sure there is no wrinkles and bubbles, and then doing the rest of the mirror with the Mod Podge and the napkin. Super simply and easy. Decoupage is a fun and creative art form that involves a Mod Podge or any kind of glue. You can add some cutout images, napkins, fabric, you can imagine. And you can make them into a beautiful, unique art. And after you're done with the surface decoupaging to make it nice and smooth, I just add this parchment paper to make it more smoother. I went with my mini press, and now to get rid of the excess and the edges, I'm just using my scissor and cutting off the rest of the napkin, and this part is done, and I really love how it came out so far. Now I'm gonna add the frame back and the backing also with the bolts, but I want to make sure that Mackenzie's signature on the bottom is showing on the outside of the frame. As you can see, I did my best because the mirror fit just perfect with this frame, and I just move it a little bit upper on the frame just to get that signature on the bottom. I add the bolts back like it came with, and that part is done. Super simply, but very different look from the original mirror arch frame that we got from Dollar Tree. For extra embellishment, I decided to add real dried pressed flowers that I purchased from Amazon. You can always make your own dried flowers, pressed flowers, just with adding the real flowers in some book and leave them for a couple of days, and you're gonna have a perfect embellishments for your creations. But those were just perfect to add the colors to my McKenzie-inspired creations today. I just add some Mod Podge on the napkin, and with that, not just that I seal my art, I just add my greeneries to it. So I started with the leaves slowly and adding some colorful flowers to my art arch frame today. As I'm adding layers of the leaves and the flowers, I'm also adding a Mod Podge on top of them, not just to varnish them, and it's easier to add those flowers and to glue them on my surface as well. I found another arch frame size 4x6 at Dollar Tree, and I'm doing the same thing like I did for my first one. I added that golden rose metallic finish, and I'm staining it down with this DIY weathered paint with a brush and just with a towel, removing the excess so I can get the perfect vintage look to it. And also for the inside part, this one doesn't have a mirror, have a glass, so I'm gonna paint the glass with a white chalk paint so I can cover that part with a napkin as well. So after it's dry, I just grab a napkin, and I'm doing the same thing and the same step like I decoupage my first project. Now that it's all nice and dry and sealed, I'm putting it back inside of my frame. And on this one, I decided to add just a simple embellishment since my first have lots of colors and flowers. On this one, after I put all those pieces together, I just decided to add something simple. If you want to add some Bridgerton wipe to this frame, you can add those cutout frames inside the part, and I'm showing you all those different shapes cutouts that I got in my stash. Those are from Temu, but I still wanted to leave it plain and simple, so I decided just to add this flower metal applique, and I think it's gonna be just perfect. Just to make it more cohesive with my frame, I just added a golden finish to it. I just heavy distressing it, and I'm gonna glue it in the middle part of my frame. I'm just adding Fix-All glue, and I'm gluing it in the middle part. And also I'm gonna be adding this small totally dazzled brush in the middle part of my flower. And that's it for this creation. MacKenzie-Childs are selling those Royal Check enamel coasters for $79 original, and now they're on clearance for $34, but they're still a bit pricey. At Dollar Tree, they're selling these candle holders, but they look like a coasters to me, in a square shape and a round shape. So I grabbed a couple of them. You can decoupage the square ones, you can also decoupage the round one to make them closer to the original look. First, what I did is, around that golden frame that those coasters came with, I wanted to stain them down with antique wax, and with a towel I just went around the frame, and then I just dabbed it over with the towel to remove the excess. But still, I didn't like the look how they came, but I wanted to work on those later on. Now I clean up the mirror, and then the mirror part, I'm gonna cover it with the acrylic paint in color white, and with the brush I'm just going over and covering the whole mirror and leaving the golden frame out of it. I'm gonna be making 4 coasters of them. So now when it's nice and dry, I'm going over with a napkin, and with a pen I'm just tracking the circle part out of the golden frame, if that makes sense, because that's the part that we wanna add the napkin to it and leave the golden frame out of it. After I cut off the circle part from the napkin, I'm gonna decoupage it with a Mod Podge, and we're gonna have a perfect set of coasters, McKenzie-Childs inspired, that it cost us only $5. Now that I got the look that I like, and I made all 4 of them, on 2 of them I leave the MacKenzie-Childs logo as I'm showing you, and then the other 2 I left them blank. Before I varnish them with a Mod Podge, I make them more nicer and smoother, no wrinkles and bubble. I just add a mini press with parchment paper, and now to darken my frame around it, I just use this DIY weathered wood paint, and just a perfect look for your home decor. Those Royal Check canisters goes for $95, And as I'm looking at the price, I'm like, I can make this one with Dollar Tree item. Dollar Tree is selling those perfect glass jars with a silver lid on it. I covered the silver lid with the white chalk paint, and now I'm gonna decoupage the lid with my Royal Check napkin. I'm just adding the Mod Podge, and I'm adding my napkin and make sure all my checkerboard are straight, and doing with the brayer going over. And now I'm cutting off the excess from the napkin, and I'm gonna do the side of this lid as well. After I cut off the rest of the napkin, I'm just gonna simply add a Mod Podge to it. And as you can see, the side is not just perfect, those squares are not perfect, doesn't need to be all straight on the original one. So I'm just going over and covering the rest of the lid with it, with the Mod Podge, and smoothing it out. But if you're gonna have wrinkles and bubbles on the side, nothing to worry about. Just add your parchment paper and add your iron or your mini press and go over, and all those wrinkles and bubbles will disappear, and the lid gonna look like originally was made with this Royal Check cover. Dollar Tree is selling those crystal knobs to add them on top of our lids. I am also using one of mine that I had in my stash. I added a little bit of blue marker to the crystal ball just to get that royal blue color coming out of that crystal ball. And then the bottom part, I'm just painting it with a gold metallic finish. And also I'm using one of my metallic medallions filigrees that I got in my stash, and we're gonna add them all together on top of my jar lid to make it more to the original look. I'm gonna let those dry on the side, and now I'm gonna work on the edges of my lid when I added just a line of a gold finish, and bring this jar closer to the original look from Mackenzie-Childs. Now I'm gonna be adding a fix-all glue, and I'm gonna glue my embellishments in the middle part of the lid of my jar. I'm gonna be using a fix-all adhesive glue. You can add E6000 or cement glue from Dollar Tree to make it nice and sturdy. And then in this jar you can add any kind of snacks, and a perfect look, not just as a decoration but as a multi-purpose storage item in a corner of your house. I made another jar, and I'm using a different medallions that I got in my stash. I'm showing you up close, and adding a different kind of knob that I got, and I'm gonna glue it, and we have a perfect storage organizers for any dry goods in our pantry. For my next project, I print out images of Mackenzie-Childs canister in a smaller size and a larger ginger jar image. I cut it off, and now I'm gonna trace them over on 2 pieces of cardboard with a pencil, and then I'm gonna cut them off. So I just need images from this ginger jar and the canister so I can decoupage them. After I trace them both over, I'm just gonna cut off my cardboard with the scissors, and then after I cut them off, I'm gonna paint them over with a white chalk paint. Dollar Tree is selling variety of scarves, and this blueprint scarf is similar to the one that Mackenzie-Childs are selling in those art pieces, and I thought it's a perfect way to make a Mackenzie-Childs inspired art piece as well. So on my large ginger jar, when it's dry, I'm just adding a Mod Podge, and I'm gonna add this scarf fabric on top of it, and just adding the design that I wanted to add and to be closer to the Mackenzie-Childs art. And with the brayer, I'm going over on top of this fabric. I'm cutting off the excess and I'm gonna let it on the side. I'm gonna do the same step on my smaller canister, but on this one I'm just gonna use my Royal Check napkin to it. After I decoupage the canister and I seal it with a Mod Podge, I have also varnished the ginger jar as well. I'm gonna be adding them in this large Dollar Tree frame. I remove the inside part of this frame, and to create another square frame, I am cutting off this frame that it came inside of it, where you can add all those different sizes of pictures, but I just need that part in a square shape. I cut off those inside parts into the square shape. I painted with a white paint, I let it dry, and after that I add a Mod Podge, and I'm decoupaging this square frame with this Royal Check napkin as well. So simply I'm going over with my fingers, smoothing it out, and then cutting off the excess from inside and outside part as well. I smooth it out with the parchment paper and the mini press like I did for the rest of my decoupage pieces today. And after that, I will add it to my frame and add all the pieces together and create a beautiful art piece. I add the white paper that this frame came with it. I'm adding this linen fabric that I previously ironed it to smooth it out. I'm adding my Royal Checking frame to see how it will look. We're also gonna add the glass, but this time on the camera I didn't want it to add it because of the lightning when you add glass. Also, before I add my jars to it, I'm adding a golden finish around the edges. Also on top of the lid, to make it more realistic looking, I'm gonna be adding one of those metallic golden medallions that I have. I cut it off in half and I just glue it on the canister. And now when I got all the pieces together, I'm gonna glue them on my frame. I'm adding a glue and adding the large ginger jar first. Next, I'm adding the smaller canister, overlapping just a little bit on the corner of the larger jar. For extra embellishment, I'm adding more of those real dry pressed flowers just to add some whimsical colors to it and bring that magical Mackenzie-Childs style and look. And that's it for this creation. You can always be creative, doesn't need to be like the original look, but I like the way how this one came out. Those Royal Check bras drawer pulls are going for $69 a piece. Can you imagine how pricey they are? I have those drawer knobs in my stash. I got them from my local store for just a few cents. You can always find knobs like this at any local crafting stores for just a few cents or $1 to $2. And I paint the middle wooden part with the white paint. I decoupage it with the Mod Podge and the Royal Check napkin just to get that closer look to it. And just for extra look, I also varnish them with a Mod Podge finish. But for extra look, I decided to add this silver tray from Dollar Tree. I painted with a white paint. I added a matte finish Mod Podge in the middle part. I cut off oval shape from this Royal Check napkin, just enough to fit for the middle part of my tray. I smooth it out with my brayer, also with my mini press and the parchment paper. To bring the edges to details that this tray came with, I'm just heavy distressing it with a golden finish and the edges around the napkin as well. I'm adding that golden shadow as well to make it all nice, vintage and cohesive. And we're gonna let it dry. I'm adding a Fix-All adhesive glue on the bottom of these handles, and I am gluing them on the side of my tray, and this creation is done. Another inspiration are those glass plates from Dollar Tree. I added the Royal Check napkins. I made those couple of years ago, and on the back I'm showing you I painted white, just that color to pop up. Also around the edges I added a golden trim with a metallic finish, and you have a perfect decoration. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or want to share your own DIY experiences, please leave a comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more DIY content. And until next time, my darlings, I'm sending you lots of love and blessings. Happy crafting! Bye-bye!